Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Matthew, the hybrid, the designer and developer. Welcome to another video in this course. This is where I dive deep into Shadcn, trying to help you to understand it and also how to fully customize it. Obviously, as I've told you before in my first video, that this library make things useful, but I feel like the documentation doesn't explain much, and also the YouTube videos, they just follow the documentation. They don't supply the essence, like practically using this component into a real world application, something like this, and also how to fully customize it. Things like the themes and colors and everything, and also what happened when you click here. What if you want to add your own input and all those things? So for me, I want us to start in the definition of Shadcn. Let's just quickly talk about the title. Most people they confused. They always pronounce shared CN as shared CDN. Okay, it's a common mistake. For me, I don't know. I never had that problem, but some people might pronounce it as shared CDN. I would like to assume the reason is in technology there is something called content delivery network, which is in most cases the short form it's CDN. So if you find somebody pronouncing it that way, please understand, but the actual name is shared CN. Okay. As I have told you that I have struggled to understand this UI component. Remember, I was also new in coding React and also Tailwind CSS, so there was a lot of things that I was struggling with. So this course is for absolute beginners. So where do we start then, Matthew? Let's start with the focus or the main aim, the chief aim of the user interface. Okay. In anything, as soon as you get lost, you must know that you have misunderstood the basics. Okay. With me, this has been the case. Obviously, trying to get a quick shortcut because I have to quickly do something, I always jump into YouTube videos, which helped in terms of follow me kind of learning. But this library doesn't require that. You need to understand it, how it has been developed, and also what it's supposed to do so that you can fully customize it. So, watching those YouTube videos, I did get a little bit of help here and there, but I didn't understand it deeply. Okay. Up until now, when I'm coming back to the documentation to try to understand what is it. So if you want to know anything, dive deep into the basics of what is it first. Okay. Now, when I'm coming back after a lot of hustle, I realized that I have missed this part, and it's big and bold in front of me. Build your component library. I don't know what's the main aim of Shadcn when he was creating this library. Maybe it might happen when he gets into details, he might explain something different. But what he has wrote here, it's clear enough to really understand. Oh, Shadcn, it's not about building user interfaces. Shadcn, it's about building component libraries. This has helped me into understanding the the library or the UI library. When you get into the internet, they will always talk about beautiful components. They will talk about how easy it is to use, how quick it is to some sort of the themes, all the nice thing about it. If you find a video that says that on the internet, according to me, you are on the wrong track because Shadcn, to be honest, it's not about that, but it's about you building your component library. Don't take it from me, take it from the guy Shadcn himself. This is what he wrote. Build your component library. So it's like it's a tool that doesn't help you to build beautiful user interfaces, as you can see. Okay, that comes as a side effect. It's something that comes automatically building user interfaces. Okay, but the most important thing is, as you use this library, this guy wants you to simplify your life and make things easier for you so that you can build your library. So meaning that when you look at Shadcn, don't think about building the actual user interface, because when you get into Shadcn, obviously YouTube videos has promised me like the moon and the stars. When I'm getting into Shadcn, I'm realizing that damn, I need to know how to code, or at least I need to have an in-depth knowledge about React, about components, about what can I say, Tailwind CSS, about Redis. Okay, so it's about you building your own library. So let me just give you a different mental picture of two guys who view Shadcn differently, my way and the internet way. Okay, the internet, it's comparing Shadcn to other UI libraries, okay? Copy and paste UI based libraries, where maybe this new guy might say that I have just found this UI library with beautiful designed components. That's the mentality of the internet. With me, I would say that I have just found a tool that will help me to build my own library. Okay. So my mentality, it's architectural. It's about how quick can I build and how easy can I modify. But what is being sold to you on the internet when you search for search CN libraries, we are selling features of it. We are selling beautiful things, and all those things. Okay, we are selling like they react you like game changer and all those things. But when I got deep into Shadcn, I realized that this tool, and this has been explained here, this tool, it's helping me to build my own thing. Okay, not to just quickly build an app and that's it, a beautiful app, a killer app that I don't know how to, it can't scale, it's difficult to edit the component and all those things. So enough about talking. Let me show you practically, okay, how I have some sort of use this mentality of thinking about building, okay, and it has solved my problem. Okay. This is obviously this is some sort of a dialogue from Shadcn. Okay. This is how it is. Let me show you in the documentation. This is the dialogue. Okay, documentation. Let's just go to the dialogue, dialogue. Here is it. Okay. So you click here. This is the sample of the code. Okay. Now, let's just quickly go through on how you install this, okay? First, you install it, and then after you've installed it, on your component folder, okay? On your component folder, there will be a subfolder here with UI, which is going to be made by Shadcn. Where is it? Okay, here is it. UI, and then these are all the Shadcn UI components. Okay, meaning that that dialog thingy is supposed to be here. Let me just check. Let dialog, this one is there. Okay, dialog, here is it. Okay, this is the dialog. So this is some sort of a raw bone structure of this, some sort of the raw components of this dialog, which I would advise this is what you are not supposed to work with. Okay, with all the videos that you will get from the internet, they take an approach of editing from here. For instance, I will what can I say, I will install that dialog and then they will come here, okay, under this UI folder. This is Shadcn folder, and then they will start to fiddle with this. For me, this is a mentality of thinking about building a beautiful user interface. This is not a mentality of an engineer. In most cases, when you see front end jobs that when they are being advertised, okay, sometimes the employers refer to front end as a front end engineer. Okay, so now we are getting into that essence, the engineering part of the front end. Obviously the internet will sell to you beauty and colors and what can I say, aesthetics. That's not what I'm going to sell you. Here, I'm going to sell you the engineering when on that word front end engineer. And also, I'm going to teach you how to think like an architect so that you can not only write functional code, but you can write a beautiful code. Okay. Now, I've already told you, do not go here and edit here, but make your own copy. Okay. Not necessarily the copy of this, but create your own component out of this and edit that component. Okay. Um, let's go to this model, this dialog. Okay. So out of this, I have created my own. Okay. Now, before I show you my own version, let me show you a sample of code of this dialog. Okay, this is the usage. Okay, when we are using it, you will have to import this. Okay, and then from then, this is the dialog. Okay, which is you can some sort of create your own from here, or you can modify this. Okay, this is what you have to modify. Remember, I told you that this is not what you modify. Whenever you've got some issues, this is the last resort. Okay. This is the last resort. Okay. Then obviously the YouTube videos might sell you this second technique. Okay. Which is to me still wrong. The second technique will be, since Shadcn UI, it's giving you this as something to work with. Okay. You will import this and then copy and paste this, and then what you do, you modify from here. Okay, so here is the code. Let me just walk you through it. Okay, this part is going to be the part that triggers the action. Okay, that triggers the action, this one. Okay, so meaning that in your code here, okay, you will just go here and you will paste the code from Shadcn, and then you will take this button and put it inside the trigger tags. Okay, inside the trigger tags. Let's go and check the trigger tag. There is open there. You will put it here. Okay, meaning that in your own parent file, you will have this extra code. Okay, for me, I disapprove this method. Okay, you will have this extra code that will make your own, what can I say, your own code a bit longer and also a little bit cluttered. Imagine if you've got four of these. Okay, and remember, these they vary in length. This one looks is a little bit shorter, but others they are a little bit long. Okay, to me that's the problem. Then the other problem, if you look at this, okay, we've got the component, we've got the heading, we've got the description, and we've got these. Okay, according to this component, all of these, they are in the same what, in the same code snippet. Okay, how do I know that? Here it is. So it's like you use this as a package. Okay, React, it's all about component composition. Okay, in React you need to be and some sort of an architect. Okay, some sort of a master builder, I can say. Let me just give you an example of a master builder. Okay, according to React, okay, according to React and how props are being passed from parent to children. Okay, this component, since it works with this one, suppose they are inside the same component so that they can share some states or they can share some information. Let me just make an example. Let me make sure that the sound is not too much. Okay, when I'm pressing play, by the way, I have built this for a client. This is an audiobook. Okay, so when you click here, as you can see, this is changing and also this is changing, and when I'm clicking here, and also this will change. So meaning that this component and this component, they are related somewhere somehow. And also this playing track, okay, and also this playing track, as you can see, okay, this component relates to this one. Okay, according to React, the first approach when you are new to React, you will have to put these into the same place. Okay, meaning that some sort of a same file, because this must be a parent to this one so that this can share some information. But when you are more advanced, okay, you know that React is about component composition. So the more independent your components are, for instance, in my code, this is an independent component and this is an independent component. You can take this part to a different page and also take this part to a different page. This means this allows for reusability. What if maybe tomorrow I want to create Spotify, or I want to create Apple Music? It means that I can reuse this piece of component independent of the playlist, and also I can use the playlist independent of the component. To drill deep and hit the point home, you can even use these tracks as independent components. So do you get the idea of things are separated? Okay, when you are a more advanced React developer, you start to separate your component. Okay, you start to have more components that are working together harmoniously. Okay, that's the engineering part. Let's go back to Shadcn. As you can see, everything is here. To me, this is wrong. Okay, what is wrong? I wish I can some sort of disintegrate this component in such a way that I am able to pass the heading and have some sort of a control when I want to show it and when I don't want to show it, and also gain control of these components that are inside here. I wish these components could be standalone components that I'm going to bring into this component. Okay, so Matthew, what are you saying then? This is what I'm saying. Number one, I said don't use this code from Shadcn UI, this one in component. Don't use it. It's a last resort. Okay, don't use it. And then I'm saying now, other developers will say, then you install Shadcn and you copy and paste the code that they have given you, and then you work from it. Okay, modify it. I'm saying no, don't modify it. Even whatever that they have given you here, treat it as a template. Remember, the focus of Shadcn is for you to build your own. Don't deviate from this. Don't want to quickly solve the problem of a beautiful UI. No, build your own library. Let me take this your own word into practical. As you can see here in my code, this is a components folder. Yes, this is components folder. Shadcn have got its own folder here, which is the UI. This one is dedicated for Shadcn. Okay. Then I've got my own components, my personal components. Why I've got my personal component? Because I am building my own library so that when I want to create a new project, I will copy this folder as it is, because now it's my component. It's like, since we have Shadcn here, Shadcn told me that you need to build your component library. So parallel to as I'm learning Shadcn and I'm using it, I am creating my own version, okay, of Shadcn, which is, let me just call it MetCN. Do you get the mentality? Meaning that as I'm using Shadcn components, I'm having a storehouse, a warehouse of easy to use libraries. So Matthew's approach will be create your own component, okay? These components, I've got my own generated ones, which have got nothing to do with Shadcn. But at the same time, I've got my watered down version of Shadcn's component. Now let's compare and contrast what the internet will say use and what I'm saying don't use, and let's see the difference. Come here. Let me go to dialogue. Let's go to dialogue. Come on. Where is dialogue? Okay, here is dialogue. Okay, let's copy this code. Okay, in fact, let me copy it. I will see if I'm going to use it. Okay, and then this is my own version of that code. I didn't edit that one. Okay, I didn't some sort of copy and paste and use that one. No, I have created my own component, a reusable component. Okay, meaning that in my storehouse or in my library, I've added one more component, and that component is under my component under Shadcn, which is, as you can see, I've prefixed all my component with my. Okay, where did I get this? I've just followed Windows. Windows, they've got my document, my music, that's what I followed. Okay, if it works, don't reinvent the wheel. Okay, so now let's look for my dialog. Here is my dialog. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you my dialog. Okay, compared to Shadcn's dialog. Okay, can I let me just create a file here that I will delete. Okay, I'm just gonna write shadcn.tsx. Okay, let me paste shadcn, and then just for removing those squiggly lines, let me copy this as well. Okay, so that we can have a full code, that a full working code from Shadcn. Okay, as you can see. But now what this is missing, it's missing that React functional component. Let's just do this, as you can see. Okay, this is where you will import. Let's take all our imports to where they belong. Okay, this is where our imports belong. Okay, my apologies for that. Let's take where the imports belong. Okay, the imports belong here. And then this belongs to the JSX, and then we will be done. Okay, and sorry for that. Let's take this and put it inside a JSX inside here. Okay, so meaning that this is Shadcn's component. Okay, as it is, let me move this. Okay, this is Shadcn. I don't want to save it. Where is my dialog? Let me just remove all these things. My apologies for this. Do you want to save Shadcn? Cancel, because I want to keep this one. This is my alert. No. Okay, let me. Sorry for this. I should have done this admin beforehand. This is my dialog. This is Shadcn's dialog. Okay. Now I want to put these side by side. Okay. Let me see if that is going to be quick. Can't I split my screen? Yes. Let's see. 100%. This is what I want. This is Shadcn, and where is mine? And this is mine. Okay. As you can see, here are the inputs. Okay, let's see. These are unnecessary spaces. Okay, we are starting at line number 1, we are ending at line 27. If we can remove, as you can see here, there are no spaces. This is some sort of a compact code. As you can see, my code has got some spaces, but I don't mind. It means that if I can remove those spaces, my code will be shorter. Okay, so the internet will sell you this way of using Shadcn, because we want to fiddle with what Shadcn has given us. Okay, because the internet believe like we are not wrong, because we are using what Shadcn has given us. So this is what we have, and I will fiddle with this. I am saying no, use also this as a template. Okay, and then create your own version so that you can deal with this. Okay, let's just quickly compare the lines here. Just a very quick and rough comparison. Make sure we don't have much spaces. Okay, we've got 30 and I've got 22. Okay, as you can see, we've got 30 here, and then here I've got 22. Okay, so let me just give you an idea. What have I done? Okay, number one, as you can see here, what Shadcn gives us. Okay, it's a dialog. It has got some sort of a trigger. Okay, meaning that your button will go here. Okay, meaning that you must some sort of in your, what can I say, in your client code. Okay, which is in this page. Okay, I need to copy this. The reason I'm copying this to add to my own client code, it's simply because I want to shove the button of interest in here. Okay, meaning that I have to take this 32 line of code into a client code, which is the code that consumes it, which is this page. Okay, which is this page. Now this page must have all that code, okay, here, of which to me that's a problem. Okay, how do I solve this? Please bear with me. The techniques that I'm going to give you might be a little bit advanced, maybe for a beginner. I do understand that, okay? But if you rewatch this video, okay, rewatch it and try to understand and take some notes, a light will come out. In a way, the dots will connect. That's how you learn. Okay, so I'm trying to say it sounds complicated and difficult because you are a beginner, but if you watch other tutorials on component composition, on the essence of React and what makes a better developer or a more advanced developer, then you will see that this was not that complicated. Okay, so number one, let's talk about code reusability. Okay, meaning that when you want to reuse this, okay, you must copy this one because now this code has become an integral part of a client code. Okay, meaning that you are saying in this page it must not be it must not use this, but this must be a part of it, which is a problem. In programming, you must promote or encourage loosely coupled architecture. Things must work together, okay, but they must not be mixed together. So this is my problem. I'm going to bring this to a client code, which it doesn't need it. Number two, when I want to reuse this, okay, it means that I have to copy and paste this code because I have copied this page from Shadcn. If I want to build another component, maybe here, inside here, I'll put something else here. Okay, meaning that I will have to create another one. Okay, with me, I don't do that. So what do you do, Matthew? This is what I do. I took this code. Okay, just gonna show you. Okay, I took this code. I deleted some of the things that I think I don't need. Okay, let's look at what I've used inside the content. Okay, which is the content. The content, it's this area. Okay, this area where there is the content. Okay, meaning that I only left this closing box inside this area. Okay, I deleted everything that was there. Why? Because I don't need it. Okay, I can create my own. As you can see, there is no special stylings here. You can treat these as just normal div tags. Okay, so this is what I did. I only left the content, meaning that I deleted this one. Okay, and then my content goes here. Okay, so meaning that my content goes here. Okay, remember the content that I will shove here, it's a well styled content. Okay, I don't have to bring pieces here, pieces that are unstyled. I have to bring the styled content, meaning when I'm bringing this content here, I'm bringing it as uh, two input boxes, text boxes, and a button. As you can see, the spaces I've already taken care of. Okay, so now I am converting the Shadcn component into a component. As you can see, I'm not using this. Okay, I'm converting this into a component that consumes, takes as a children only two components. Okay, so it's like I'm converting this to a some a component that has got only two important components in it. Which one are those? The trigger and the content area. Why are you doing that, Matthew? Because I want to even move this trigger here. I don't want to hard code it. I want to make it a variable so that I can substitute it. Okay. Sorry for that. I want to make it a variable so that I can substitute any trigger that I want. What do you mean? This is what I mean. I can substitute this button as a trigger, but very quickly I can use the same code, this one, but now pass this button. Okay, I can use the very same code, but now pass this icon. Okay, it will do the same thing. See the difference? We are thinking as engineers. Okay, let's take it further. Now, let me just close this. I don't use it. Okay, now what I'm going to do also inside the content, I want to use a variable. Okay, I want to use a variable here. Okay, so that I can substitute this content with a whatever that I want to put there. Okay, obviously whatever that I'm going to put there, it's going to be a standalone component on its own, just like this form. Okay, I'm going to shove it. So the takeaway here is that I have converted Shadcn's component into, number one, a shorter component with a small code. Number two, it has got two main important sections, the trigger and the content. Let's go here and explain that. Okay, as you can see, here is the trigger. The trigger consumes children. Okay, but children as an array, knowing very well that this parent component need to take only two children. If I convert the children of this array, of this component into an array, that means at position 0, I've got the first child, which according to me must definitely be a trigger. Okay. Secondly, it's the dialogue, okay, which is at position 2, there must be the content. Okay, let's go back. At position 1, I have passed this child. Okay, at position 2, I have passed this form. Now I have converted Shadcn's component into a reusable component. Okay, let me show that practically. Okay, let's say I want to use this. Okay, but now I want to use this modal component, but now I want to pass what? I want to pass this section entirely. Okay, as you can see, this is the section. So what will be my trigger? This button must be my trigger. Okay, how is that? How complicated can that be? If you were using Shadcn, it will mean, because you are using this code, okay, it will mean you have to copy this and do all the necessary changes. For me, I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to take this template, okay, and then from then I'm going to push the first children and the second child, the first child and the second child, and that's it. Okay, so before I go, let me just quickly explain in details how this reusable component works, so that when I'm talking about it in the implementation, you can understand. Okay, now we've converted this into a component that takes two major sections, the trigger and the content. So whenever you think about this template now, think about it as a trigger and a template. And also we have removed the context from it, meaning that now it's just my dialogue. It's not the sign up dialogue. It doesn't have the context. Okay, it's meaningless. Okay, meaning that it just take two components, the trigger and the content. Okay, and then what it does, okay, as it receive children's, okay, which is two children. Suppose once you start to add 3, it's going to throw an error. What will throw an error? I've got a reusable function here that I am importing. Okay, where is that reusable function? Here is it, not this one. Here is it, children to array 2, meaning that I'm converting children into an array, but only 2 children. Okay, that's what this function does. So in this function, I am passing the children's dot to array. Okay, I'm using this children dot to array. I'm passing the children that I'm receiving. Those are 2 children, the trigger and the content. Okay, after that, I will receive an array. At position 0, I've got the trigger. At position 1, I have got the content. Okay, so now let's quickly do that. Number one, I am not going to go to Shadcn again and copy this. okay, because I've made this a reusable component. Okay, so now let's quickly solve this problem before we end this video. When we click here, we want inside this model, we want this to be there. Okay, so what we are going to do, let's look for this component. Okay, inside this component, we are going to import this component, import the function that will help us, and also import this template, and that is it. Okay, so now let's go to my component and look for a component with the name cartoon card. Here is the name cartoon card. Okay, so I might as well bring this function from here, copy and paste the function that will convert, sorry, and to copy this function. Okay, it will convert for us. Where is my cartoon thingy? Is not here. Okay, not a problem. I don't think I will use this. Okay, where is my cartoon thingy? Here is the cartoon card. So let's import the function first. Oh, okay. Okay, and the helpers. Okay, let me just point to it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, I normally use at. Okay, let me just check the helpers. Okay, the helpers are inside the component. Okay, let's just say at, and then component. I wonder why we don't reach at component. Okay, let me just close this. Okay, let's say at. From here, I'm supposed to see all at components. Okay, and then forward slash my components, and then forward slash. Do I have helpers here? Helpers. Okay, here is what I want. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, that means I've imported the function, and then what I want, I must import my own template. Okay, and then which is it's my dialog. Okay, so we can go here, the name of this, it's my dialog. Okay, we can import it also. Okay, import my dialog. Okay, let me just click here, so that I can input it from the relevant place. I have got my dialog as a template. Now I must import what I will inject in the dialog. Okay. Let's see, what do we want to inject? It's a component that has got something to do with button. Let me just quickly check here. Am I inside? Not Shadcn. I'm looking for a component. Okay. I just, yeah, loading button. No, it has got text and button. Yeah, here is it. Okay. Let me also import. I'm going to shove this as big as it is. Let me just check the name. Okay, we import this into where are we on card component? Cartoon card, yes. Okay, correct, and then import. Okay, and then let me make sure that I'm importing from the right place. Nope, this is not what I want. Okay, why it's not giving me what I want? Okay, where I am, I'm here. Let me just say from. Okay, from my components. Okay, but not helpers. Let me just copy and paste this. Okay, my components, and then text button. Okay, text button 100%. What it's saying, text button is declared but its value is never used. Okay, not a problem. Let me, I'm going to use it now. Okay, as you can see, now we've got everything. So now let's use our template, which is not the alert one, which is where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Maybe I have imported the wrong one. This is not my alert dialog box. It's just my dialog box. Okay. My dialog box. My dialog box, not alert. Okay. Sorry about that. This is what I want. Here's it. Let me save it. This is the one that I'm looking for. and also it's under Shadcn. Okay, let me not forget that. This is what I want. It's other Shadcn, my dialog. Okay, my dialog is declared but it's never used. Okay, that's not a problem. Let's start to use it. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to go to this button, sign up. Okay, go to that button, sign up, which is, it's a loading button. Let's see if it's written sign up. Yes, this button, it's a trigger. It needs to be the first child of this. Okay, let's quickly do that. Okay, it needs to be the first child. Do you see that I am not bringing the whole code? Okay, I am not bringing the whole code from Shadcn, which is this one. Okay, copy this and import this. I'm not doing that. Okay, this is the first child. That means that's not enough. I want to know which child am I going to use as a display, and it's this one. Okay, the second child. Okay, remember we are going to push these into that array. Okay, and then after, suppose we are done, let's just quickly see what this is complaining about. All that add components has no exported member. That's not a problem. Let's just quickly go there. Go to definition. Okay, let me go out of here. Okay, here is this. Okay, components, my component, and text and button. Okay, let's see. My component, text and button, which is this one. Okay, function. I didn't export it. Okay, let's see what I've done at the bottom. Did I export it? I exported it as a default. Okay, let me just remove the default. Okay, that's about it. That one problem solved. And then come here. And also, I think the same thing happens here on my dialog. Okay, let's go to my dialog. My dialog's already opened here. Okay, just remove this. And that's it. Okay, this one is the error that we got from that code. Okay, the text button, is there any other thing that you are complaining with? Okay, let's see what it says. Has no default, which is my dialog has no default. Let's go to my dialog. Okay, let's just import it like this. Okay, so guys, don't mind about any other things that I'm doing which are a little bit confusing. If this video feels confusing, just watch it again. Okay, now we are done. Suppose everything is working. Okay, let's go back here, check the code, rerun it. Okay, let's see. Environment type is an environment starting the building component or class function. Composite podcast as undefined. If a particular expert component as definition, you might accept default and what. Okay, let me just quickly check that. Okay, where we are now, we are on text button. Okay, we're on text button. Yes, where we are here. Okay, so on the cartoon one. Okay, did I use this? Okay, I'm here on the cartoon. Okay, let's just quickly check. Sorry about that. Oh, the other thing that I usually don't do, let me close. Let me quickly terminate this terminal and restart it. Okay, so that I can see what's going on. Okay. npm run dev. Sometimes if you didn't terminate it, always it gives a problem. Okay. Let's see. Since ready, let's refresh and see. Okay, obviously here we can see what type of an error it is, if there is an error. But as you can see, guys, we've just converted. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's see. Text button does not contain a default export. That's not a problem. Okay, it's imported as, which is a text button. Okay, this is a text button. It's imported as a default where this is where we want to use it here on the cartoon card. How did we import this on the cartoon card? Here is a text button. Okay, let's go to it and see function. How did we export it? Suppose we've exported it as a name. Okay, here is it. That's not a problem. We can do this as well. Let's quickly see. Okay, let's export it from here. Okay, let's see. Okay, okay, npm run dev. This is supposed to be the easiest thing I have ever done. The easiest, but it looks like it's taking some time. But no problem. I'm used to errors, and now I love them. And also, this is a very, very careless and a simple error, but because of I'm in a hurry, okay, check the render method of yeah. Oh, now I see. Ish, my apologies about that. It looks like on my home page I am using some of the functions that I have converted from default export to named components. Okay, now I see. Okay, let me just go to my home app, my home. Okay, am I using one of those components? Yes. Okay, I think so. And I'm importing it as a default instead of as a named component. Okay, happy with that. What else? Let's check on component. This one, it's that Shadcn thing that we can delete if we want to. Okay. Now, guys, we are good to go. My apologies for the up and down. Obviously, my approach to development is to show you that there are up and downs, and this is what we do behind the scene. As for me, Matthew Singh at the hybrid, I am used to this. Okay, fine. Now let's see. This is what we have here. In 3, 2, 1, let's check. As you can see, guys, we have just shoved the whole entire what can I say component inside this. Okay, that's what we've just did. But if we're doing this the other way around, it will mean that we will have to come here and we will have to change this. The takeaway home here is, what if then we want to make changes on this dialog box? Okay, let's say maybe we want it to have a title by default, some sort of a title that comes here, okay, in all of these parts. Okay, let's just quickly do that. I'm just going to edit one part and it will change on both parts. Okay, let's go back. This was the code that is I think I can even delete it, okay, because I don't really need it. Okay, no, I don't need that code. Okay. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to go to my dialog. Okay. Inside my dialog, I want to add some sort of a header or a title or something, which is I can do that here. Okay. Before I pass the children. Okay. Let's say H1. Okay. Let's write Matthew, the designer. Okay, and a developer is going to be long. Okay, let's just make sure that we are doing the right thing. We want our template, which is my dialog template, composed out of Shadcn code. Okay, we've created our own template. Yes. Okay, before we render anything, which is we've got the first children, which is the trigger, is the one that we don't really see. Okay, this child, it's not visible here. Okay, that means we don't have to take much. It's not visible here. Okay, as you can see, we've already done what we want to do. Okay, so meaning that this one is not visible. Now, this is the visible one, the child at 1. So what I'm doing, I'm putting a message before I render this one. As you can see, the message is here already. Okay, but let's check, is it going to be here if it's the same component? Obviously, as you can see, it's here. I hope obviously it took longer, and I'm not going to some sort of remove all those parts where I myself I was confused, as I've explained to you that I am tired because I have been trying to fiddle with this Shadcn thing for some time. Okay, so I hope you have learned something on this in terms of code reusability, meaning that now we've just created a library of our own. If Shadcn have got some sort of a library of components that they are using, it means that Matthew has got his own matcn, okay? A component, some sort of a collection of components that I am using. As you can see here, I'm not bragging and boasting about how beautiful this interface is and whatever, but I'm keeping my mentality of an engineer and an architect, okay, to come up with simple ways of doing things. As you can see, we just have this, and at the same time, we just have this. If you were doing this in a different way, you were going to take a lot of time, you were going to have code duplication. Lastly, let me close with the dry principle, okay? DRY, do not repeat yourself. But I know when I'm explaining, sometimes I over explain and I repeat myself. That's the only time when I repeat myself so that you can understand. Otherwise, I'm Matthew Msingati, the hybrid, the designer, and a developer. If you feel like this video has added value in your own understanding of Shadcn, please subscribe for more. See you on the next one.